What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Self the Line Surgeon. And you already know what time it is. Tips to talk. Alright people, let me get this out the way before I forget, because I always forget to tell y'all I'm drinking. Same thing as usual. My Bird Dog Evan Williams Green Label blend. The best thing, my go-to. Anywho, today I'm going to talk about boundaries. And I'm not talking like sexual harassment. Talking about property boundaries, when you cut in the customer's yard, and certain things I've kind of I stopped cutting this year because I felt like it's not my responsibility as a lawn care customer to cut it, or the customer's responsibility. If it's just kind of piggybacking off that video I made at the beginning of the season, where the customer, the Tipsy Talk, where the customer said he was going to take me to court. To reiterate that, basically, I was cutting a particular customer's yard the year before. And when I came back for my first cut this season, I noticed this customer had a new fence up. So I'm like, dang, now I'm gonna have to trim along this fence. So I said, well, maybe he's gonna take care of it. So I saw him outside. I said, let me go up to him. I said, hey, how you doing? I see you got this new fence. I was wondering, were you gonna maintain this side of the fence and whatnot? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna maintain it. As long as you don't mess with my fence, I won't have to take you to court. I'm like, whoa, like, where did that come from? Anyway, fast forward, we'll kind of rewind to a month ago. Had another incident with him. This was like when my ProTurn went down, but I hadn't got the Pro stance yet. And so I was going around cutting everything for about 2 weeks with my Mustang. And so I went to this particular property with this guy with the fence, right? And mind you, I didn't have my bagging system on, but my bag's on, but my bagging system's still there. It still has the hood part on the back of the Mustang, which sticks out. And sometimes I forget it's there. Y'all kind of see where this is going. So anywho, I'm cutting that first cut right along that fence line, and so I'm just looking at the guy. He's out there working on his tractor. He got some kind of tractor, John Deere. And so I'm like thinking about, the last time he went crazy and blah blah blah. I get to the end of that property and I hit that turn, and boop, the hood on the Mustang hits the fence. I'm like, oh crap. Cause the dude's outside, right? So of course your first natural reaction is I wanted to turn my head and look at what I just hit to see if there was a mark, right? But then my second quick thinking reaction was, don't look. Maybe he didn't hear it. Maybe I could just keep on cutting, right? So I turn and I keep on cutting, and I can hear this man yelling over my mower, hey, hey. And I'm sitting there like, oh gosh. And so so I get to the end, right, and I turn on the next turn, and I turn my head and see him waving his hands, and I give him the clueless face. What? Huh? What? Acting like I don't know what he's talking about. I already know what he's talking about. So I cut the mower off, and I get up walking up, still got the clueless face on. Huh? What? And so he, you hit my effing fence. You hit my effing fence. You gonna make me come unhinged. I'm like, what? I hit your fence with what? What? and he's like, what the thing on the back of your mower? You gonna make me come unhinged? Like at this point, I was 100% this dude was crazy about. And so I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to do it. I said, where did I hit it? Is it a mark? I don't know if there's no mark, but you gonna make me come unhinged. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, okay, sorry. And I just turn around and start walking away. Because I'm like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and you're not having a conversation right now. Like, sorry, bye. And so, anyway, I say all that to say, that whole situation got me thinking about this subject of this Tipsy Talk, boundaries. And like, I'm like, is it really our responsibility to cut along a fence that the neighbor has put up? You know what I mean? Most of the time, like, say I come and I quote somebody's house and I meet the fence, right? Basically, when I come and start cutting this person's yard and the fence is already there, even though it's his neighbor's yard, I will trim the fence. That's included in the price. But if I've been cutting the yard for 2, 3 years, even 1 year, and the neighbor magically puts up a fence, no, that's new. I'm not cutting that, because a lot of people just put up fences and it's like everything in their fence is their world and everything outside of the fence that's not their problem. That's the neighbor's problem. But number one, it's your fence. And so that's what people do. They put up a fence and they don't never come. Like I cut the lady's yard across the street. The lady across the street doesn't have a fence, right? But the person right behind her has a fence. And so it's not her responsibility to cut along your fence. You should come cut it. But if she doesn't cut it, or if I don't cut it, it's gonna make her yard look crazy, because everybody from the street, you can see the back of that person's fence, and now it's gonna look crazy. You know what I mean? Another thing that I stopped cutting around was stakes, property line stakes. Well, people, I guess, you know, they say, oh, don't come in my yard, this is where our property line is, and they put these stakes up all along their property line and show their boundary. I had one customer, I stopped cutting her this year, but I cut her for 2 years before this. The first year I had her, I used to cut around these stakes, you know, the stakes on her property line. And then I got to the point I was like, wait a minute, my customer didn't put up these stakes, the neighbor did. You know, he's the one that created this situation. He should be responsible for cutting around it. So I stop anytime somebody has stakes. I have another customers like that. They put stakes up in the yard. I ain't cutting around those stakes. You put those stakes up. You cut around them. Somebody puts up a fence. I ain't cutting along that fence. You put up that fence. You cut it. Only time is if the customer asks me. So I guess this is my question to you guys. Now, if you're in that particular situation where the neighbor has put up an obstacle that's going to cause you to have extra work, and your customer wants you to trim around it or trim along it, do you charge extra or you just do it? Because technically it's not that customer's responsibility, and technically it's not your responsibility. So I was just wondering that. What's going on with me? I don't know. I just got home. I got me a new smoker. I'm gonna post a video about the smoker tomorrow. So y'all will see that. So my ProTurn has been in the shop for 3 weeks. It was kind of, like I said, it was kind of blessed in the way it happened. The shop that I took it to is a smaller shop. This is Gravely Dealer. It's closer to my house, but it's a small little shop. I think it's like, you know how you have a bigger dealer and then they branch off and make a smaller one? That's what this shop is. So, you know, they're just opening up. Well, I mean, they've been there. I say they've been there for about 5 years, but that's new, you know. So, and they're a little small dealer. So when I called him, they said, oh, you know, this will be about 3 or 4 weeks before we can, you know, get it back to you. And I was like, all right, that's fine. It's been about 3 weeks now, and I've been pro stancing it ever since. So, you know, I'm blessed to have that. So I'm still cutting. This week I started working with my dad's friend. I think I might have mentioned this on some other videos. Running wire. He basically does what they call low voltage, which is like internet, security, you know, stuff like that. The wiring for that. So basically it's like apartment buildings, not complex, like buildings, 4 floors, 3 floors, 13 units per floor, and we basically run all the wiring for the communications. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to see all that. I might vlog. I don't want to be walking around there with this big old camera here. Maybe one day I might get my GoPro and do a little vlog in there. Let me know if that's something y'all want to see. But yeah, that's what's going on. I worked there 2 times this week. Then I got cut Monday. I cut 1 yard Monday, which was supposed to be my maintenance day, but we had to go out of town. I got home, cut 1 yard, and went to work with him Tuesday. Wednesday, I had to go on a field trip with my daughter. Then I got back, went and cut some yards. How many yards I cut? I forgot what I did. No. I went back and worked, did some more wiring, and then today I've been cutting all day. Tomorrow I'll be cutting all day tomorrow. So that's my life. I'm kind of loving it. Still stressful. Gotta make as much money as I can. But I'm living the American dream. Anywho, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, stay tuned. Yes, sir.